So we're group number 1. This is Mandy, Alexa, Andrea, Mariana, Jaime, Braulio, and Male. And we just did a project on human trafficking, and we decided to gather here to discuss about what we learned. We want to discuss scars for victims and traffickers, to discuss if victims should escape or just endure everything, and to discuss if we are guilty in some way and what we can do about it as teenagers.
Okay, on the first topic, the scars on traffickers and victims are like really hard to discuss because, I don't know, people just say that the victims are the ones who get scarred, but I think traffickers too, because they like traffic.
Right, but traffickers are scarred and they do that because they have like scars from their past.
Yes, but not always, because sometimes they need it to feed their families and stuff. So it's not that they're scarred and they want to scar someone else, but just because they need to do it, because they need to feed their families.
But the victims just don't get scarred physically. They just get scarred. And they also get scars mentally, so that leaves them emotionally unstable.
Well, traffickers are emotionally unstable. I mean, they're sick. I can't say that they're not sick and they traffic people and they kill them and they're sick. But still, they must like have something in their minds to do that.
I don't think they're sick. Like not all of them. Some are, but not all of them, because some of them need to do it in order to feed their families and stuff.
But if you have to feed your families, you'll find like other ways to feed them, like a job or something.
Yes, but some of them are forced. I don't think that all of them are emotionally unstable because they traffic people. I think that some of them need to do it.
Andrea, do you see that when they trick a victim into going for prostitution or something, they use like debts or they use secrets or they like threaten them and stuff for them to go into prostitution. Sometimes it happens the same with traffickers. Like traffickers, it's not very often, and I just say that.
Yeah, but
I think traffickers are worse than victims.
Yeah, you can choose.
Like in scars, maybe it's easier for a victim that gets rescued to go into therapy or something. But
it's not. Victims are like hurt, like victims are raped. Victims are hit. They're like.
Yeah, you can go to therapy, but it's something that is gonna like last forever, like in your mind. It's not something that you're gonna forget, like in some years or something.
Yeah, it's not like if a killer kills someone, you're not gonna feel bad for the killer. You're gonna feel bad for the victim.
I also feel bad for both because the killer did it for some reason.
maybe it's because there's something in their mind.
Maybe it was because they were sick, or because they needed to do it because someone forced them, or because they
just wanted to
do it. There's always a reason, and sometimes I feel bad for the killer, not for the victim, because the killer had but also for the killer.
Like, I remember Mandy's sister, like Anna, when we were doing bullying in oil, she said, when we were explaining about psychological bullying, because that was our topic, and she was in my team, she said that sometimes you have to help the victim of bullying, but you also have to help the bully, because the bully is the one that has a lot of problems, and maybe it's like the same with traffickers. I'm not saying like, oh, yes, let's put like a team of psychologists into like a place where they traffic people and traffickers could get help in a way.
I think the trafficker's attitude depends on his childhood and the environment he grew on, because I don't think if a trafficker grew on this place full of people, respect, and all of those values, he would be.
But some people are looking for something else.
Well,
like people right now traffic like drugs and stuff. Of course, it's different with people. It's worse. But if you say no, that kind of problem.
I don't think our society
it does reach our society, but it's all about choices. If you want to traffic people, if you want to drug them, to abuse them, and to kill them, it's up to you. I mean, no one can force you into that.
Yes, but traffickers are not the one that do stuff. They sell people. and other people do it.
That's not true.
Most of the
Traffickers
time.
abuse them.
Yeah, so traffickers abuse them, but it's...
And traffickers like sell the kids to get raped.
Ah, yes. I'm not saying it's correct. I agree, and they sell them for child pornography. So, yes.
Okay, so as a conclusion of the topic, because we have to go with more time.
Jaime, what's your conclusion on the topic?
Well, I think that both the victim and the traffickers had like problems after that, emotional or physical, mental, and it just they both have like something problems, some problems.
Nice start.
Okay, then should victims try to escape or endure like
I think they should try to escape.
I think it's something you really have to think about because
Yeah.
if you get caught escaping or something, you get killed.
You get lit up or
But if you don't escape,
talking about
But not only killed, but even
heavily
needed
injured.
more and stuff, not only killed.
I think
But if you
escape
don't
is really
escape-
hard. It's not.
Yeah, it's
It's like escaping from
They're
a
gonna
person.
solve all the
They control them. It's really hard for them to escape. But if they can, and if they
They
find
have the
a way to,
opportunity.
they should like.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're like that, you want to endure like everything. You want to escape. That's the only thing that you want to do. You don't
Well,
want to.
sometimes you get like,
Stockholm syndrome.
yeah,
Yes, that's so rude.
or sometimes you're just drugged, like, always.
Because I think enduring the whole thing is not like an option. Because let's face it, they're not gonna set you free anytime.
No, they won't ever.
Ever. They would either kill you
Kill you.
or make you part of
Overdose.
it or rape you until you're dead or something.
In the book I read, in the book I read, the girl got to escape because I think she actually tried to escape like publicly, and they shot her and left her dead, like there, and they thought that she was dead, but she was not dead. So after the traffickers left, they left her open, and she like crawled out and threw herself like from a window to a river, and then swam across, and the police found her. So I don't know, maybe is that a risk people should take?
I think that won't always happen. Like maybe you get burned or something worse or something. I think that I would try to escape because if they get you, they're gonna kill you, and I think it's better
Or
than
torture you.
endure a life of suffering.
Yes.
I think
So I would
What happened like on our story? Like the characters didn't try to escape. They were like, yeah, I want to be out of here, but at least
In my
my
story-
character didn't try like to escape.
In
She
my
was
story,
like, she wanted to be free, but she didn't like
Do anything.
about it.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
character like fought it and then they killed her.
no, my
Sometimes
character.
that is better.
I think
I
it's
think
better-
yeah,
Yeah,
to
but-
die like knowing you tried.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
just
sorry.
die than to endure a life of suffering.
So, but sometimes what makes you like go on and fight is that
The
little,
hope.
like that little
Yeah.
hope that you
Mhm.
can say maybe I can escape if I fight a little harder. If I get through today, maybe I'll try tomorrow. And tomorrow you say, oh, I'll try today, maybe I'll try tomorrow. I don't know. That little spark of hope, maybe it's the thing that
Well,
helps the victims
At least
escape.
this is like what we're saying is like, yeah, I will try to escape, but when you're there, it's like very different. Maybe you want to escape, but you're like
You're
afraid.
chained.
Fear.
Maybe you're chained.
It's very
You're tied
easy
to
to
a
say,
chair.
yeah, I will try to escape, but when you're there, I don't think it's that
And
easy to
it's
say.
like literally
You're
a
so
prison.
scared.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can't escape that easily.
Yes.
So as a conclusion,
It's something you should think about.
It's depending on your situation,
Yeah.
how much like.
And if you're
you want
willing to
it.
take the risks. of
If you have
dying.
the opportunity, maybe.
Sometimes I think traffickers have to be like very agile and like master some manipulation, and sometimes they manipulate you into a kind of fear that you just don't want to do anything. You just think. So I read testimonies and they said that they just thought, oh, I just live for the man that's gonna rape me tonight, and that's it. Like they get so messed up that they don't think like, oh, I should try to escape because I deserve better than this. They're just like, oh, this is what happened to me. I'm gonna run here and I'm gonna do my job home, which is horrible.
Yes. That's awful.
So what's the third topic?
So it depends.
Then finally, the last topic that we have is like, do you feel guilty like in some way, and what can we do as teenagers about it?
We can't do anything.
We can actually do something like on Facebook and like stuff like that. We have to be like careful on who we accept as friend or who we talk to, or like talking to strangers, or like be aware of it, or like
But that's how we protect ourselves.
We
can't protect ourselves. What can we do for people that are being trafficked like
I
right
think
now?
all we can do is like create conscience about it.
Yeah, be aware.
Yes, but we can't do anything for the people that are already existing.
Yeah, because we're kids, like we're teenagers, we can like go on raids and try to kill them or something. We can't do. I think what we can do is like create conscience about it, make people realize it's a real problem.
Like,
Do you
it
people
can
feel
happen to
guilty?
you, not to the one that lives far away or something.
Do you feel guilty? You know,
Not.
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't feel guilty. I know I haven't done anything, but I do feel bad for the people that are trapped. Are being trapped.
Suffering.
Like to think someone your age can be in that
Uh-huh.
situation.
Or even younger.
It's like
yes.
sadness, more than pity is sadness that things like that can happen. But I don't think it's good.
I also feel very, very bad for the people that died or that died suffering and died like alone, because they're alone. And
People that are dying.
people that that their families don't even know that they're dead because they're in the system. I feel bad for them that they died like that with no one to be there for them.
Which do you think is the worst form of trafficking?
Sexual trafficking.
Yeah,
I really
sexual
think
trafficking.
about we weren't there for Sofia Rivera's presentation, but she talked about child soldiering, and I investigated for that. And I think that's very horrible because child soldiering includes sexual abuse, prostitution, pornography, and forced labor. All of those from little kids that are forced to go into battlefields in Iran or in Pakistan to be like toys for the soldiers and to cook for them, to clean for them. They can actually get like a big for the wall and they like die there.
And I also feel bad for the people who traffic them. Like, how can someone do bad things to them?
But right now, at least, people are doing something. Like,
Yes.
many years ago, they were slaves. Like, black slaves.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was alright and everybody wanted to slave. Like, right now, at least they're doing something. Geishas, they also were trafficked. And they were abused and they were forced to do housework. And everybody was like, oh, hey, she's a geisha. At least people are doing something right now.
Yeah, like today we have like media to like talk with everybody and like, to inform everybody. And like countries are actually like doing laws or have laws for against human trafficking. Like at least in Mexico we have laws. It's different that some like judges or lawyers, I don't know, they don't apply the law, but there's a law and there's something about it. It's not like, oh yeah, we can't do anything about it like with law. There are laws, but the problem is like people who apply the laws.
And people, who do you think is like worse, the trafficker or the person who buys?
And the person who buys.
Maybe the traffickers need it, like I said, for
It's their business. I know it's illegal.
But
Yeah, but how do you buy someone?
They tell you like
It's immoral.
to abuse and
That's true, but then again, you can buy something if there are no stores. Traffickers have all the fault. I mean, people who buy are worse, but the traffickers give them the product.
yes, but they give it to them for a reason. They're just buying.
They keep
Like
making.
the only reason why trafficking exists is because there are people who buy it.
Yeah, they're still buying it and they keep on doing it.
Well, maybe have like a crazy idea, but if you're like a millionaire or something, maybe you can buy kids but like to save it.
I don't think
Have you seen the
someone.
movie Schneider's List? He used to buy Jews for his company so he could like keep them out of the concentration camps. That's a good idea, but what you're doing is illegal.
But I think
You're helping them. You're getting them injured by science.
It's also very dangerous.
You can get killed.
I mean, you are buying people. It's not like you're buying.
But you're buying that for a good
You're
cause.
buying.
Oh, but that's a problem. I mean, you can do anything without the risk of getting killed. It's like narco or something. You can like fight it directly if you want.
If you're screwed,
but,
you're
like,
screwed.
and risk your life. That's a really big problem.
So as teenagers, I think the only thing that we can do is like be aware of this problem and be careful
Be
on
careful.
who we talk to and who do we accept like on Facebook and like social
Prevent
networks.
ourselves.
And yeah, and, like if your friend talks to you like, oh yeah, there's a guy that talked to me, but I don't know what it was. Like talk to your friends and be aware of it. And like I think that's the only thing that we can do. Like be aware of it and be careful. Yes, we can really do something about human trafficking. Like
There's some people that get kidnapped, and not trafficked, but kidnapped. That I think that it's really stupid, like you said, to talk to strangers and to tell them where you live and where you're going, and you don't even know.
yeah, but it happens. Like
yes,
you're
it
not
happens,
and someone
that's just
oh, where do
stupid.
you live? Oh, I live like I don't know. So it's like something that always happens. It's not like something from a movie. That you're on a party and you're talking with someone and you're not gonna think, oh yeah, he wants to traffic me or he wants to rape me. You're just talking to that person. And sometimes it happens. Like, it has happened to me like on parties and you're like, oh, why did I give him like my phone number or something?
And the trafficker will make it like, do you like,
Trustable.
yes, it's trusted. Like, they will study and, I don't know, they'll.
Experiment on you.
Yeah.
No, they have like a really psychological knowledge about you and about how you work. That's why they have so many girls and so many people because they know how to manipulate them.
And nowadays that we have like all this media and the communications, they can do like many things. Like on Twitter, they can see like what you're doing or like your pictures on Facebook
Where you're going.
or like where you're going because we have like many technologies and things that we can use for that. You can use it like for good.
But not always they manipulate them. But sometimes they just kidnap them. But they're walking in, they take them. Like, sometimes you can't prevent it because there are a lot of people, sick people that are way stronger than most of us.
Exactly.
And they just take you and there's nothing you can do about it. And if you walk, you
But
can
if
do
you
nothing.
can do something about the other kind of stuff that
And
you
you're-
can,
and you should.
But it's also difficult because if you see a good looking boy, you will like.
But how do you know? How do you know he's a good person? Or a bad person? You know?
But anyway, if you give your
But
phone
just
number,
not
That's a very common thing. That's a very common thing that traffickers do. Like they hire like good-looking boys or girls, and they go to talk to like other boys to help
Like you
them.
won't think he's a
Like I don't remember what's the name like in English, but it's like a movie. Like it's a father that works
Take it.
yeah, take it.
Take it.
And that's what happens. Like they were
Like,
guys or something.
they meet a guy,
And then
everybody.
met a cute guy or something. That's how it works. It's very difficult to know it, but you have to be careful, like giving your number or giving your address or your Facebook or what you put on Facebook. If you're like uploading like pictures of your house and of your cars and where do you live, and you have to be careful of with what you upload and with what you tweet.
And I think also you have to be careful on how you show yourself to others because since traffickers have like a good manipulation of the mind, we live in a world where as teenagers we are messed up. We live through so much, it's horrible, and normally traffickers would actually go and try to get people that are weaker in a way, right? Like a strong person with a strong character, strong personality, it's much harder for them to actually treat that person as someone that has problems. I remember your story, like your girl always went to the park and cried in the park because she was sad about her dad, about her mom, about everything. And that's where the trafficker got her, and she's like, no, I'm gonna help you. Don't worry, you're fine, you're beautiful. You need that comfort, and since many girls suffer like that for whatever reason, when somebody comes, whoever, and just gives them the comfort they need, they cling to it. And that's why it's easier for them to see. But if they see like a strong, confident girl, and on the other side, a girl who is like, oh, like that, and just don't want to see people, they'll rather go for this one.
But no, sometimes they see they're good looking. It doesn't matter, it's just confidence.
They see it as a
They
business.
just take you. Sometimes, most of the time, you can't do anything.
Weak people, like immigrants. Mine was in my story. The girl was an immigrant. She didn't have papers. She didn't have.
People were to play
They offered her a job, and she obviously took it. Then her job was to.
Okay, so after like all that we have researched in it, like our works and drawings and all that we did, like, are you like aware of it? Like now you're gonna say like, okay, before I access someone on Facebook, I have to check, or like, are you aware that this exists and that it is like very close to us, and that, I mean, we know that human trafficking exists, like, but after doing this, I think that we're like more aware of it.
Because we read like statistics, we read like testimonies.
And stories. I don't think about, I don't know about you, but I was like very involved with my character. I was like, oh yes. So like as a conclusion of everything, of like the theme about human trafficking, of like of the work, what can you say about it? Did you like it? I didn't like it.
I mean, it's
Well, the work, I think it was like a good idea to do about this thing, because we learn a lot of things, how we can prevent, like you said now, how more things about human trafficking, statistics, how they take them, why, how much it happens, things like that. We can get more like, yes.
I think that's what this project did.
And it's a very interesting.
I'm gonna like you continue, and I'm gonna like just continue.
Okay. It's like a very interesting thing, as you said.
Subject.
Yeah, subject. And it's something that is happening like on our days, and it's very close to us. And I think that with this project, we like open like our minds, yeah, to this problem, and we're like more aware of it, and we learned a lot of things. And
Although we can't do anything about it,
yeah.
We know how to prevent
We know how to
like
prevent
we're-
ourselves and
It's a real
our loved
problem,
ones.
like, it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And in our faces.
we're now like aware of the problem and what we have to do. And I don't know about you, but I think I'm gonna try like to do something like about it. Like at least with me, like be aware or be careful who we meet, or like who am I talking to, and stuff like that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.